Critical thinking is not a school skill. It's not a fancy intellectual hobby. In a world built on manipulation, persuasion, bias, and hidden agendas, critical thinking is a survival instinct, because every day, without realizing it, your mind is under attack. Not with violence, not with force, but with information. Crafted, curated, optimized to shape what you believe, what you fear, and what you desire. And the terrifying part, most of it doesn't feel like manipulation. It feels like truth. Algorithms show you what keeps you watching. Advertisements show you what keeps you wanting. Politicians show you what keeps you obedient. Influencers show you what keeps you comparing. And your brain, designed for a world far simpler than this one, struggles to tell the difference. Critical thinking is the only firewall. It begins with a question so simple it almost feels useless. Is this actually true? But the moment you ask it, something shifts. You interrupt the automatic process. The suggestions, the emotions, the impulses. And suddenly the world stops feeling like a script you're trapped in, and starts feeling like something you can analyze. The first thing critical thinking reveals is that your brain is full of shortcuts. More than 40 cognitive biases run in the background, whispering lies that feel like intuition. You remember what confirms your beliefs. You forget what contradicts them. You trust confident voices even when they're wrong. You distrust uncertain ones even when they're right. You think the loudest idea is the popular one, and you think the popular one must be true. Without critical thinking, you are not choosing your beliefs. Your beliefs are choosing you. The second thing critical thinking reveals is how easily emotions override logic. Fear makes you accept simple answers to complex problems. Anger makes you defend ideas you never examined. Desire makes you ignore consequences you should have seen. Loneliness makes you vulnerable to anyone who offers certainty. Emotions are not the enemy, but when they replace reasoning, you become programmable. The third thing critical thinking uncovers is intent. Every message has one. Every headline, every video, every argument, every friendly suggestion. Someone benefits from what you believe, and critical thinking forces you to identify who. Sometimes it's harmless, sometimes it's economic, sometimes it's ideological, and sometimes it's deeply manipulative. But the real power of critical thinking isn't skepticism. It's clarity. It gives you the ability to slow down the world, to see the strings behind the puppet, to understand not only what someone is saying, but why they want you to believe it. It turns you from a passive receiver into an active evaluator, from a follower into an observer, from a target into a strategist. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Critical thinking is not natural. It's not automatic. It is a skill you train, and it begins with intellectual humility. So the willingness to say, I might be wrong. The evidence matters more than my ego. My beliefs are not my identity. Humility is the door. Critical thinking is the room. Awareness is what happens once you enter. And once you learn to think critically, you begin noticing how many people don't. You start seeing the traps, emotional bait, misleading statistics, false dilemmas, moral outrage machines, and the seductive simplicity of black and white thinking. You start recognizing when someone is trying to control the conversation instead of contributing to it. You start spotting the difference between information and influence, and you realize something important. In a world designed to manipulate your attention, the most rebellious act is to think for yourself. Critical thinking won't make life easier. It won't make decisions simple, but it will give you something far more valuable. Your mind back. Because once you learn to question the world loses its power to quietly shape you. And from that moment on, you stop being a passenger, and you start being the one who drives.